How often do people say, "Hey, what's up, Alec"? How often?
Oh my God!
Is it every day?
Nah, yeah, we're not as famous as we used to be. I mean, it used to be we walked around and everyone, would say, "Hey," and the paparazzi would take your picture. Now I walk up to people and they go, "Yeah, it's a black Mercedes. Pull it up front." They have no idea who I am. But it's funny because someone said to me they were taking a picture in the airport. It's just not that long ago, and the mother goes, "Gail, take a picture of Daddy and I with Mr. Baldwin." And, you do the pose. And then she said, "Gail, don't you want your picture?" She went, "No." And I went, and she said, and she went, "Mom." And I went, "You want to see me make your daughter want to have her picture taken with me?" And she looked at me and she went, "Yeah." And her father went, "I bet you can." I said, "You want to bet?" I said, "Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber's wife, is my niece." And she turned around and she went, "You're related to Hailey?" I'm jumping up and down, going crazy. And I thought that was funny. I've been reduced now to being Hailey's uncle. That's where I am.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal nowadays.
She and he are monstrously big for sure. But no, I've never disillusioned myself to say they're saying Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin, Clint Eastwood, or Daniel Baldwin. Those conversations didn't ever take place. And I'm okay with that.
Was there ever a story about Alec was supposed to play the fugitive instead of Tommy Lee Jones? Is there a story with that? Or I don't know why.
There was a story. Well, actually, Harrison Ford should have just wrote Alec a check, because there was not just the fugitive, but there was another, Hunt for Red October. So Alec did Hunt for Red October, which was the Clancy series. And then because he had promised that he would do this play, and he said, "Can you guys wait for me?" They used that. I think it was Mace Neufeld turned around and said, "Yeah, you're gone." And they hired Harrison, which he ended up doing 2 or 3 more of those. Then The Fugitive, I believe the story was that Alec had the rights to it. And he had the rights to the TV series. I think it was David Jansen, was it? He had the rights to the series. And then when he let that expire, Harrison and his guys grabbed it and developed the rest of it into the movie that, again, was very, very successful. So there's a couple of big breaks that Harrison Ford got that he owes to Alec, or at least
How do you know, though, right? Like, how do you know when you're like, I don't know if that movie's going to do good or not? How do you know? Like, is there a way of knowing it? You're not going to know. It's a crapshoot, right?
When do you know? I'm in shooting 2 movies, East Coast and West Coast, and I'm in Delaware shooting Broadway Brawler, a hockey movie with Bruce Willis, when Bruce was absolutely like one of the biggest, Die Hard, all of it. And I'm shooting this movie, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like the girlfriend's brother, his best friend. I'm in this movie a lot. And I'm like, here we go. We're on the A game movie-wise now with a lead. And then whatever happened to him personally, some stuff went down that suddenly the movie got shut down. Then we went back. Then it got shut down again, and it never got finished. And I thought, what causes that? What causes Ishtar to have, the actors that it had in it and then bomb at the box office because of a snowstorm on the East Coast when it opened that weekend? I mean, is there really any way to know? There's no way to know. You can put together the biggest names in Hollywood. And if you look at which names and you look at the movies they did in the last 10 years, there's 9 movies that Wahlberg did that no one's ever seen. They just shelved them and they released them on straight to video. Straight to video has changed the business so much. So many channels are available for you to watch the material that's on that it's diluted the quality. I mean, you could make all kinds of stuff now. I mean, in the horror genre, you put 4 kids going camping together in a camera with some blood, and someone's going to watch that. It's a huge genre for kids, and they make these movies for micro, but under 100,000. And they do well. I mean, so what's well if you make it for 100,000? If it makes $500,000 over the course of 3 years, 5 times your money. It's 5x. That's a successful film.
For sure.
You're going to think I'm crazy when I tell you this, but the last 13 and a half years, I've been working on my first fiction book to write, ever. Fiction book to write. And while I finished this book, a year ago, I got the strangest phone call about one of the characters in the book where the guy wanted to meet with me, and he read the book. And afterwards, it's like, wait a minute, am I the villain in the book? This is a story about a character named Asher, who is half Armenian, half Assyrian, whose father was involved in the Iranian Revolution, linked to Savak, working with the Shah, that they escape and he gets recruited to a secret society. Well, when you go to the secret society, it's been around for a couple thousand years. They've developed some of the craziest leaders of all time. And they test you. There's unique tests that they have at the society where they test to see your emotional mental toughness. One of the tests that they have is very rigorous. It's purely mental. Of course, there's a physical one, but one is mental and emotional. If you're Armenian, if you're Syrian, if you're Persian, this is a book you're going to be reading and saying, holy moly, this is the kind of stuff you talk about in here? Yes. If you're somebody that's fascinated by history, this is a book for you. Characters. There's a technology that this society, secret society, builds where you go into a vault. I won't spoil it for you. When you go down, they have a technology where you get to sit down and watch and have a 3-4 hour conversation with Tupac. You can set up a debate between Karl Marx and Ayn Rand. Karl Marx is in the book, who wrote Communist Manifesto. Ayn Rand, who wrote Atlas Shrugged, is in the book. Marilyn Monroe explains the concept of seduction and sex in the book. When you read the book, it's about development of the next leaders in the world and how they do it and how they've been doing it for many years. And it's also about how to prevent the end of civilization and how this organization goes about doing it. So, I've never written a parenting book before, but if I ever wrote a parenting book, this is the closest thing to it because it's all mindset, a lot of crazy stories. Again, 13 and a half years. Trust me, I told myself I will not publish this book until I sell my insurance company and I'm fully disconnected from it, where it's no longer my responsibility 100%. When you read this, if you're a creative person, if you like fiction books, if you enjoyed Atlas Shrugged, or if you enjoy Divergent, if you like books like that, I think you're gonna enjoy reading this book. It's the creative side. Business books is very easy. Here's how you do it. Here's how this how it works. This is very creative. If you haven't placed the order yet, now you can order it on Simon & Schuster, Amazon. I'm gonna put the link up below somewhere here, maybe even in my profile. Go order the book and read it. I've never written a book where I can't wait to read your reviews to see what you think about this book. So I'm going on this wild journey and we have some plans with this book here. If you support the things that I work on, I would appreciate you going and reading the book, order the book on Amazon, and then post a review. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.